everyone, this is Codger. What do you get when you cross a Pan America with an old school Sportster? Well, obviously you get a Sportster S. Let's get into it. Okay, so the reason I just showed you that last clip of the live wire is because I want everyone to know that I'm not afraid to do performance riding. I'm not afraid to go fast. I'm not afraid to kick it up another notch to show that a bike is more performant. I'm really not. But where I fail is in bikes like the Pan America and probably the Sportster S is because of the high revs. I'm not used to that, and I kind of fail there, in all honesty. I don't take advantage of that high rev capability of those bikes. But I want you to know I'm not afraid to do that, and that this year I do intend to improve in that aspect. But I've also avoided getting on the Sportster S. It's never appealed to me. It's not a bike I look at and go, good Lord, I gotta ride that. I look at it and go, that's not for me at all. I could be entirely wrong about how it feels and the fit of it for me personally. So this year, I'm going to give the Sportster S, the Nightster, and the Nightster Special a go, just to broaden my horizons and see if I really like them or really don't. Okay, so here we are looking at the 2023 Sportster S model on the Harley-Davidson website. Now you'll notice the big black bar with all the writing in the middle. This is something I use when I create videos to kind of point me in the direction of what type of riders will like this motorcycle I'm looking at. It doesn't matter what model I'm looking at right now. I'm just telling you this is something I use quite a lot when making videos, so I can kind of point it in the direction of a type of personality of rider. I think it's great. It's very helpful to me, at least. But it's something you can look at too. It can kind of tell you if it's a bike you might enjoy riding. But what I like about it, it tells me some basic. It tells me that there's a forward riding position with forward foot controls. I like forwards. I don't like mid controls all that much. They make me feel too cramped. But that's just me. Maybe you feel differently. There's a low seat height and it has rider safety enhancements available. It also tells me what type of riders who would like this type of bike, according to Harley-Davidson. Now, this is for riders who desire top-of-the-line performance and stunning style. It's an aggressive riding bike with sport bike agility and handling. I would actually agree with that one quite a lot. And it's, again, according to Harley-Davidson, for making a statement and standing out from the crowd. I don't know if I agree with that one. I think if you're in a group of Harley riders, yeah, you're going to stand out because most of us don't own a Sportster S. Most of us are into the traditional, old-school Harley types of motorcycles. You would definitely stand out with us. But when it comes to the general motorcycle population, I'm not sure how true that is. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. I'm very interested to hear what you think or what you have seen. I haven't seen a lot of owners of these motorcycles, if any. Now here we are looking at the 2023 Sportster S model. This is the bright billiard blue option, but let's backtrack a little bit. Let's backtrack a little bit and look at the base model, the vivid black model. To me, this is the best looking one of the bunch because it's black and with a little bit of color. Even though it's called the vivid black model, it still has the black with some copper highlights on the engine and on the tank. I think this is the sharpest looking motorcycle. Let's look at this on a 360 degree view like Harley-Davidson offers. Let's look at the front. This is what it looks like from the front. A different style of headlight than what I'm accustomed to. Let me know in the comments if you like this style of headlight. To me, it looks kind of squarish. I know there are corners on the edge, but to me, it's a little too square. I like a round, traditional headlight because, again, I'm old school. But let me know what you think if you have an opinion on it. I'm really interested to hear what you think more than I'm interested in giving my opinion. Let's look at the other side now. As you can see, it's a black finish. This is not a bike with chrome. None of the models have chrome finishes. It's meant to be a modern looking machine. And that's what this bike is. It's a modern machine in all aspects. Now here's what the back end looks like, and if you ride this as it's intended, you're gonna pretty much give this view to other riders. This bike is super performant. It's crazy performant for a Harley. It's not your old school Harley by any means. Let's go back to the original view. Now, to me, the first thing I notice when I look at this bike is the engine, because of the copper color. I just noticed that right away. Everything copper there, I notice it right away. It stands out. It tells me that that's a Revolution Max engine, and it's ready to perform. The next thing I notice, and it's a very close second, is the pipes. I look at that and I go, not for me. That's immediately the first thing that tells me that this bike is not for me. This is not something I would enjoy. I want to point out that I could be entirely wrong about that, but to me it turns me off. But I'm, again, interested more in what you think about it. Is this something that you think looks good? And if so, why? I will appreciate your opinion. I will appreciate it more if you tell me why you like that. It will give me a new perspective on it, which I am always looking for, a new perspective, because I like to be able to appreciate things more and more over time. But the next thing after that I notice is the tires. The fat tires. I love fat tires. I have a fat boy. I love fat tires. I think they look pretty cool. But that's what I look at and see when I see Sportster S. I think it looks modern and cool in its way. But I also look at it and see that's not for me. But I am going to test ride one this year because, well, I've been putting it off because this has not been an appealing motorcycle for me. But hopefully my opinion is turned around 360 degrees on it after I test ride it. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope I'm so impressed with it that I fall in love with it. Now let's look at the colors. We have our white sand pearl, the gray haze, which I'd be willing to bet that will look a lot better in person. Same with the white, but I think this one will pop a lot more in person. And I found the bright billiard blue to be about the same in the photo as in real life. And I think that's a nice color option though, just saying. Now the price is $16,399, add $450 to the MSRP for any color option. They're all the same. So let's go and look at the performance of this machine on the Harley-Davidson website. Okay, let's stop here for a minute. The revolutionary power and technology. Now this is a new platform for Harley-Davidson. It's relatively new. The Revolution Max 1250T is the engine in this bike. And it's liquid cooled. I want to point that out, that it's a liquid cooled powertrain, which adds more performance to your motorcycle, of course. But the thing I really want to point out here is rider technology. This is definitely a departure for Harley-Davidson, traditionally speaking. Now you can choose from 3 pre-programmed ride modes: Sport, Road, and Rain. But there's really a 4th ride mode. It's a custom mode where you can tune this to do exactly what you want it to do. You can tune it to ride like you want it to ride. I think that's a great feature. Technology isn't typically my thing, but I think on motorcycles, if you can tune it to ride exactly the way you want it to, you can get more enjoyment out of your motorcycle. So the last thing I want to talk about is performance. Now this is what I was talking about earlier. Where I kind of fail with bikes like this is here. These, what I would call high revving motorcycles. Now you see the engine torque is 94 foot-pounds of torque at 6,000 RPMs. I'm used to much lower RPMs, a lower RPM on a motorcycle for torque. This is where I fail. I'm not used to taking advantage of that. Same with the horsepower, 121 horsepower at 7,500 RPMs. I'm used to much lower figures for that, bikes that are meant to take advantage of lower RPMs. This is where I fail. I don't take advantage of it. This is something I intend to improve upon in 2023. I want to take advantage of this part of these types of motorcycles. I want to experience that full performance. And as I said before, I'm not afraid to do it. I'm just not used to it. Let me get some practice in. But okay, so we've taken a look at the 2023. Okay, so we've taken a look at the 2023 Sportster S model. And I'm basically going over it because I'm telling you I want to ride it and what my intention is with it. I'm going to get over my prejudices with this bike and get on one. And hopefully, I'm so impressed with it, I fall in love with it. That's what I want to happen. I want to be blown away by this motorcycle. I really hope that happens. I hope my perspective on it changes 360 degrees. But anyways, this has been Codger. I want to remind all bikers to ride safe and keep the shiny side up. I want to remind everyone else to live their best life. And I want to remind everyone, please thank a veteran or active service member for their service. They have earned your respect and gratitude. Have a great one.
Man, what bike do I ride? The Fat Boy? Or the Lowrider? I don't really know. Probably the Fat Boy. The Lowrider's a lot of fun, but I'll tell you what you can do. You can like, comment, and subscribe, and share, while I try to decide which one I'm going to ride. It's the best problem to have.